You don't got, you're playing touch butt with that dork in the park.
There's a little snake in the grass.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
No forget Jesus, people.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I'm back.
Who the fuck is that guy? Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I would like to introduce...
Welcome to the MMAforMoney show, episode 92. I'm your host, as always, Mike Kopeniver, aka Real Mike. You can find me on Twitter at Don't Cope Just Win. I'm joined with my producer and good buddy of the show, T. How you doing, T? You're on mute, T.
No, still muted. Glad to be here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, this episode we're talking about the UFC Vegas 28 that's coming up this weekend. Looking forward to some MMA combat in our life after a week off. It's really weird when we don't have any MMA. It really gets to me. There's like literally, there's some stick and ball sports that we get excited about, but it's just nothing like MMA fuels my fire. So first off, I want to just to go over our May betting recap. There was I think 4 events over May. The first betting over May, the first event was May 1st, Reyes versus Prochazka. We cashed 1-0 that event. We went for Merab Davasheli. We cashed 1 unit. May 8th, Watterson versus Rodriguez. We cashed Carlson Harris for +1 unit. So we were up 2 units. And then on May 15th, we put out 3 bets. One of them was a double bet on Beneil Dariush that we won. That we won 2 units, and then we put 2 units out on a couple other fighters who lost. One was Chandler, and the other was Soriano. But that ended up being an even night, so we were still up 2 units for the month of May. And then on May 22nd, we won 2 units with our boy Rob Font to beat Cody Garbrandt, plus 2 more units, so 4 units for the MMAforMoney show over the month of May for the $100 better. So you're welcome for that. So 5-2 on bets. So let's fucking go, baby. First off, I want to shout out to our sponsors. The first sponsor of the show is Melon Brand Hats, MELIN.com. And my boy Brian McDonald's one of the co-founders, and he had literally in high school talked about having a luxury line of hats, would have really intricate patterns and nice just materials, and it sure shit came to fruition, and it's just really cool to see him. He sponsors guys like Michael Chandler, Phil Mickelson, who won the PGA Championship last week. So shout out to Melon Brand Hats. Go get yourself a luxury line hat. They're sick, man. Second up is the Fokai Stuff, FOKAI Stuff.com. My boys from Guam. Shout out to my boy Rome, who gave me the chance to spit his gear and just and to sport it. So go get yourself some fight gear, whether it's wraps, shirts, socks, jackets, beanies. They got some of the dopest stuff. So shout out to Fokai Stuff for the love. And the last but not least is Spliff Seeds, Amsterdam. SPLIFF Seeds. If you go and look at the specific strain Lemon Cream Kush, the female, that's my lady up on the picture that's featured there. So shout out to Spliff Seeds for always supplying genetics here over in California. Go get yourself some genetics for the growing season. So with that said, I just want to thank all of our sponsors there. Another sponsor that I'd like to thank is Ryan Richardson, Kick Your Bass. From Ryan Richardson, Kick Your Bass on Twitter, professional fisherman and extraordinaire, an awesome dude. Shout out to Jackie Girl here from Kansas City. Primetime Papa Prime himself is in the house. Shout out to you, my dude. Your package will be there soon, my man. And then just want to go over last night, the Ultimate Fighter debuted again, finally, after a couple years off. The Ultimate Fighter season 29. And I'm a big Tough fan with my brother's jersey over here with Tough season 6, my brother War Machine. So definitely love watching Ultimate Fighter and all the fights and drama that goes on. So this season we have the 2 coaches are Volkanovski and Brian Ortega. And man, right off the bat, it got me super interested in just seeing the different dynamics between the two. The picks for Volkanovski got flipped. They flipped the coin, and Team Volkanovski got the first pick. And with the first pick, the Team Volkanovski took Mitch Raposo, who's a bantamweight fighter, and then Team Ortega fired back immediately with a bantamweight fighter and Daniel Argueta. And then I'll just read off of the teams now. The second pick for Volkanovski was Ryder Newman, middleweight. Third pick was Dustin Lampros, bantamweight. Fourth pick was Gilbert Urbina, middleweight. Fifth pick was Ricky Tercisos. I'm saying that terribly. Bantamweight. He's actually really good and going to be fun to watch. Really just unorthodox and strange. But so 6 fighters. Aaron Phillips, middleweight for Volkanovski. Brady Highstand was the next bantamweight, number 7. Number 8 was Brian Battle, middleweight. And that was the last one for Team Volkanovski. And then Team Ortega, like I said, first pick was Daniel Arguedo, bantamweight. Second pick was Andre Petrovsky, middleweight. Third was Ludik Sholian, bantamweight. Fourth was Trishan Gore, who's middleweight. And fifth was Josh Renninghaus, bantamweight. Sixth pick was Miles Hunzinger, middleweight. Seventh was Vince Murdoch, bantamweight. And number 8 pick for Team Ortega was Cameron Lechanov, middleweight. So the first fight of the whole Ultimate Fighter was Team Ortega got the first pick since Team Volkanovski got the first pick on fighters. So Team Ortega selected Petrovsky to fight Phillips first. What we learned here was that Petrovsky is a super successful NCAA D1 wrestler. Dude's got a body like a Gotti, no kidding. He's just solid, looks like a standard wrestler. He trains with Renzo Gracie in Philadelphia. He fought a guy named Phillips. His last name's Phillips. He was 5-2 formerly out of Alaska. Right off the bat, he was literally talking about how he learned most of his jiu-jitsu and his training off of YouTube. And I just wanted to bet everything in my mother on Petrovsky. Literally, if you could bet on this fight, I would have just hammered and slammed every single thing on there. Because I just knew that he was going to win. It's just easy money. So Petrovsky, like I said, D1 NCAA wrestler, took Phillips down quite easily. He got him in an arm-in guillotine choke and subbed him, made him tap round 1. So real easy win for Team Ortega. And next up, the next fight of the season will be Ludik Sholiman to go against Volkanovski's first overall pick, Mitch Raposo. So next week should be a great fight, and so make sure you tune in to watch that. With that said, going into this, dude, what the UFC has made for the fighters, man, the gym, the new fighting arena, every single thing, the tough house, it was absolutely gorgeous, and it's really cool to see the fighters walk in the house. Some of them, don't come from money and then never seen the likes of, just a big mansion, jacuzzi and the like. So it's real cool to see their reactions to walking into the house. Hopefully they appreciate the gym and everything that Dana White and them set up, because it is really sick. And for all the people around Las Vegas and fighters that are going to be able to enjoy what they built for the Ultimate Fighter is really cool. So with that said, coaching strategies, I really Team Ortega got me right off the bat. I'm Team Ortega for life right now. There's no way Volkanovski is going to get me to go over. Team Ortega was just really strategic. He had a really laid out game plan, what to do with his fighters and what he expected. And Volkanovski seemed a little bit more like deer in headlights, and it was just a little bit of just more scatterbrained. I really liked how Ortega implemented what he's learned from Henry Gracie, who's his sensei at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, his fight team. I think that he implements. Brian Ortega in the first episode said he used to coach, which is true. A lot of the fighters, especially like my brother War Machine, used to do the kids MMA class and other classes at that to teach to make money. So Brian Ortega's used to coaching, and he said he loves it. So you could really tell that he's taken the role and running with it. And so I'm really stoked to watch the season of The Ultimate Fighter. It's been a long time since I've been excited to watch it. And so I just can't wait to watch Team Ortega roll here. So with that said, I just wanted to give you a little bit of review of the Ultimate Fighter from yesterday. So, which is cool because we were going at Wednesdays now. We can dip into that a little bit. So with that said, we're going to jump into UFC Vegas 28 on Saturday on June 5th. The first fight of the prelims is going to be Claudio Paulus, who's 25 years old. He's 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. He's coming in at a plus 170 versus Jordan Levitt, who's coming in at negative 200. He's 26 years old. He's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. And for those of you who don't know about betting, negative 200 means you got to lay $200 on Jordan Levitt to make another 100. So Claudio Paulus is the underdog here. Levitt fights out of Syndicate MMA and last won via slam on Matt Weeman, who's a veteran. It was a pretty sweet slam at that, but it went viral. But Jordan didn't even celebrate it greatly. He had a lot of respect for his opponent. I liked and didn't like it. I wish that he would embrace the villain role and just the fact that was just such a cool slam. But we really didn't get to see a lot of Jordan Levitt other than just a little bit of the wrestling and stuff like that. So it's hard to tell. Claudio Paulus is a young fighter too. He's 1 year younger. He's going to have 1 inch reach advantage, and he's going to have 2 inches on height. And so I don't like Paulus that much. I think that he's kind of chinny. I just can't trust him. So I'm going to go with Jordan Levitt here. I think that he's going to be able to withstand this and win the fight and beat Paulus. What do you think, T?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in full agreement with you. I mean, I didn't think either guy was that great. Paulus, he couldn't finish Moreno his last fight. Now, I don't think he's good at all. So that was like a gimme fight, and he still couldn't finish him, you know. So I think Levitt should win. I'd take him by decision. I probably won't bet this fight, but if I do, that's where I'm leaning. But next up on the card, we have Youssef Zalal versus Sean Woodson. I like Woodson here. I think he's the better technical striker. I think he could pretty much dominate in the stand-up department. And Zalal's takedowns, they aren't the greatest. He does have a route to victory on the ground if he can get him down there. Woodson, he doesn't have the greatest grappling either, but Woodson's size advantage should be the difference in this one. So I'm leaning his way, man. What you think about it?
Yeah, this could be interesting. Youssef Zalal is 24 years old. He's 5'10" with a 75-inch reach. He's coming off for Sean Woodson, who's 28 years old, who's 6'2" with a 79-inch reach. Sean Woodson's going to have 4 inches of reach advantage. He's going to have 4 inches of height advantage. Man, I really do like Sean Woodson's game, his striking at that, but his gas tank and heart is really the question to me. And Zalal has fought better competition and lasted all 3 rounds, so it's really more like a pick 'em. They have Sean Woodson at a -190, so you got to put $190 to make 100. You put $100 on Youssef Zalal and you make plus 165. I think it's much more of a pick 'em. But with that said, with the reach advantage in the boxing to Sean Woodson, I'm going to go with Sean Woodson here to roll. I really think that he's going to end up winning it. So next up on the card, let's see, we got Marina Moraes, who's 29 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach, who's coming at the plus 145 underdog versus MMAforMoney, who's -165 favorite, 31 years old, 5'7" with a 66-inch reach. This is a decent matchup between 2 aggressive fighters. MMAforMoney showed a lot of volume and striking diversity in her last fight, that she got a W in her first debut fight. Marina Moraes has kind of been here around in the women's division for a while. She hasn't really impressed me that much, and the line is at -165 for Farah. It's just a hair heavy. I definitely favor MMAforMoney to win here. I'm going to pick her to win, but I wish it was more of a pick 'em fight versus a veteran like Moraes. But what do you think of this fight, T?
Yeah, I think it could be a decent fight too. So I'm right with you. They're both pretty aggressive, so it could be decently entertaining, is what I'm thinking. But I kind of feel the same way you do. I take Fiora by decision if I was going to bet this one. I was kind of leaning that way.
Nice.
Yeah. So next up on the card, we got Alan Patrick versus Mason Jones. Mason Jones lost his last fight versus Mike Davis, but the stand-up, it looked pretty solid in that fight. Patrick wants to get it to the ground, but he's not that good off his back. He's only good on the top position because he's kind of like a one-trick pony. So I think it's a pretty good matchup for Mason Jones. If he doesn't get taken down, I think he'll roll. I might bet Jones ITD in this one. But what you think about it, dude?
Yeah, this is going to be a good fight. Alan Patrick, 37 years old, 5'11" with a 74-inch reach versus Mason Jones, who's 26 years old, 11 years younger, 5'10", and 72-inch reach. The underdog here is Alan Patrick at a plus 245 number, -290 for the favorite Mason Jones. I really like Mason Jones here. After his last fight versus Mike Beast Boy Jones, or Mike Beast Boy, it was freaking amazing, man. He just kept coming forward, kept fighting, and I believe it was on short notice he took that fight, and he just looked, pretty impressive. It's hard to say impressive in a loss, but Mason Jones did look impressive, man. And Alan Patrick, he's 37 years old. He just hasn't impressed me very much. Like I said, he's 5'11", 74-inch reach. He's coming off a loss to Bobby Green. Bobby Green's very spotty himself. He's coming off 2 losses in a row. Last one was Bobby Green. The one before that was Scott's Hot Sauce Holtzman. And then he's beaten a couple guys before that, Damir Hadzovic and Stevie Ray. Who's, it's kind of whatever's. I really like Mason Jones here. I think that he's going to roll. I think that he's more aggressive. He's meaner. I think he's going to end up landing in the pocket and just land something devastating on Alan Patrick's just jaw. Mason Jones, when he does get taken down, his get-up game is really sharp. He gets up fast, man. I mean, the longest someone holds him down his whole career is about 1 minute, and he's just put right back up. So I really like that, and I like his aggression, and I also like the 11 years younger and with the cardio and all that. But I want to say shout out to Primetime himself, MMA for Money, Jason Torello, one of the best bettors himself, MMAforMoney.com. Shout out to Kick Your Bass, Justin Williams. I saw you in here. Appreciate you guys all in the chat being active. Vinita Brayland, appreciate to seeing you in here, sweetie. Always nice to see you. Jamie Birch, all you guys who support the MMA for Money show. I just can't thank you guys enough. So, like I said, with that said, Mason Jones, I really believe he's just going to absolutely dominate here and just kill Alan Patrick.
Yeah, this seems like the UFC is kind of livening it up for him. He just needs to show up, take care of it.
Yeah. So, let's see. Next up, we have Francisco Trinaldo, 42 years old, folks. 5'9", 70-inch reach versus Muslim Solikoff, who's 36 years old himself, 5'11", with a 69.5-inch reach. The elder is way towards Trinaldo's side. The size advantage and height is going to go to Muslim. The reach advantage by ½ inch says it goes to Trinaldo, but I'm really iffy about that. I really think the size advantage is going to be just really big here. He's literally, Trinaldo reminds me of just the kid in when you were Little League or Pony Baseball and All Stars, that you're playing the 12-year-old kid and he's got like whiskers and mustache already, and you and your dad and the coaches are wondering, like, is that kid legally a kid still? Like, he's from Team Cuba or something. That's what Francisco Trinaldo looks like. He looks like that kid from Cuba who snuck in there with a birth certificate from someone else. But I think it's time that Father Time is going to catch up to Francisco Trinaldo. Muslim's striking ability is just amazing. I like the way that he just his all around game, especially his striking. I think he's going to be able to keep Trinaldo kind of at bay and be able to win here. At the negative 225 number, it is a little steep versus a veteran like Francisco Trinaldo, who's been here and fought absolutely everyone. I personally am not betting this fight, but if I did have to pick a fight, gun to my head, Muslim Solikoff, give me him by decision. What do you think, T?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 counter strikers, so it might not be the most exciting fight. I'm probably going to start off slow too. But Trinaldo, like you said, he's getting up there in age, and that's probably why the line is what it is. But he's never been finished, so that's the catch-22. But it could be that time. So it's probably most likely going to end up being a decision. But with Trinaldo getting up there, that ITD could be worth a shot. That's what I was thinking. But next up on the card, we'll have Tanner Bozier versus Ilir Latifi. Both fighters are coming off losses in their last fight. Bozier, he has the advantage in the stand-up department. I think Latifi, he's got the grappling advantage. If Bozier can get out the clinch and keep some space, I think he'll win this one. I haven't seen enough from Bozier in the grappling department for me to bet him. I might take a shot with Latifi at the dog money. But what you thinking, man?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun fight to watch. You have, let's see, Tanner Bozier, 29 years old, height 6'2", with reach of 75.5 inch. He's a negative 200 favorite versus Ilir Latifi, who's plus 170 underdog, 37 years old, height 5'10", and a 75-inch reach. Ilir Latifi, let's get it right off the bat. World-class wrestler. I love wrestlers. I love the ground game and that type of stuff, but he is always outmatched. It doesn't matter where he is, where he's fighting. He seems to be always outmatched. It doesn't matter if it's 205. He should be fighting at 185. This isn't 205 anymore, folks. This is the big boys. This is up to 265. Tanner Bozier, for the first time ever, he's had similar problems himself. He's a little bit outsized. He'd be a guy that would just do well in like a 230-pound division if they have it. Just seems to, when he fights guys that are 265 pounds, just gets overpowered and just outworked. His striking is really good. He moves good for a big guy. I think that he's going to be able to play with Ilir Latifi at range, but he's just got to be wary of the takedown game of Ilir Latifi. If he lets Ilir Latifi get too close, and he's going to go for a ride. People are comparing that Latifi couldn't take down the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. That's 265 pounds and a whole lot different of athleticism, in my opinion. But Tanner Boser here is just, to me, is more athletic. He's younger. He's 4 inches taller. He only has a half-inch reach advantage, they're saying, but he's the better all-around striker. And if he could keep this up off the ground, I believe he will win here. But that's a big if Ilir Latifi can't get him on the ground. But this is big. This is heavyweights. How many pounds has Ilir Latifi put on for this fight? I'm curious to see him on the scale, because I feel like he's going to come in like Ben Askren for the Jake Paul fight, all flabby and fat. I really don't think that he's going to be coming in here healthy. I think he's going to come.
That's a big size disadvantage.
This is stupid. I'm going with Tanner Boser all day. I think that the size advantage is going to come to play. The years younger, the 8 years younger is going to come into play. So I'm going to go Tanner Boser here, but you got to be wary of the takedown game of Ilir Latifi.
Yeah, if he gets him on the ground, he's in trouble. But yeah, he's so big, man. It's like crazy size disadvantage in this one.
Nice. Thank you for the Super Hard Award, Mel B, and all you guys who've chipped in there. Thank you, Papa Prime. I saw Jamie Birch, Ryan Richardson, our sponsor. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, brother. Thank you all you guys for supporting the show. The 76 of you live, and the 13 of you that have awarded us awards. So, So with that said, who do you got in that fight?
I said I would take Latifi just at a dog price, but I mean I understand what you're saying with Boser.
No worries
with the grappling. If the price is right, especially live, if they throw something out there, betting.
We're not betting this, folks, so don't get it twisted. I think T is correct. I think that there is value on Ilir Latifi because I love wrestling, and all he does need is one takedown possibly to end this fight. But Ilir Latifi doesn't have that great of jiu-jitsu, so I still don't trust him that much. But he's the veteran. He's got way more experience here, so I believe that
that's a 50-pound difference, bro. That's big.
It's gonna be weird, bro. Ilir Latifi was outsized at 205 pounds, so I mean, I can't say enough about it. Tanner Boser, he should roll here, but like I said, we don't have any dog in this race. Ilir Latifi is a wrestler, and I don't like betting against world-class wrestlers. But this is another heavyweight fight. Like I said, we don't even bet heavyweight fights very often. But next up on the card, we have it's going to be one of my favorite fights of the night, because we have the lady starting right now. It's Montana De La Rosa, 26 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach. She's going to go up against Ariana Lipski, who's plus 220, 27 years old, 5'6", with a 67-inch reach. Let's just start out right away. Ariana Lipski is absolutely a beautiful man. I mean, her body, her face, her lips. I mean, she does not look like a fighter. She is one of those girls that she looks exactly like a beautiful Brazilian girl, like a model. It's hard to take her serious, but she does have a mean leg lock game. She has we call her the Queen of Violence. I'm hesitant to label her that, but Rosa fights out of Elevation Fight Team with Justin Gaethje, Drew Dober, Neil Magny. Has great examples around her of how to train at a high level, but her record is kind of suspect, alternating wins and losses, beat really only lower caliber women's A fighters. Lipski isn't that low bottom of the barrel, but she's super close to there. But she has changed teams recently, and she's went to ATT Florida to train with Nunez. Moraes, who's fighting tonight on this card, and so a lot of other good fighters over there at ATT that she gets to actually train with. This is the first time she hasn't been training in Brazil, so I'm curious to see what Lipski has taken into her game over this period of time. But I just feel like it's a little too short period of time to face someone like Montana De La Rosa, who's got the jiu-jitsu edge and the better wrestling, because that takes so many years to get going. But I do like that Lipski's moved over to ATT Florida, who's one of my favorite camps with Mike Brown and the likes. Great examples over there just in general of all-around mixed martial arts. So I'm going to be going with Montana De La Rosa, but don't get it twisted if Ariana Lipski just advanced real far in her short time over at ATT. What do you think about that fight, T?
Yeah, I mean, De La Rosa, she's going to be the best grappler Lipski's ever faced. So I'm just looking for Rosa to just dominate her on the ground. But at minus 260, I won't be betting on that. So I'll be passing. But should be, I'll watch it. Should be pretty entertaining. We'll see how it goes. But next up on the card, we'll have Machwan Americani versus Kamela Kirk. Well, it's actually different on here, but Did they change this fight or something?
No, it's Kirk. What do you got?
That's weird. It's listed Kirk when I press it. The wrong pick comes up on the site. That's UFC.
Yeah, Kamala Kirk. UFC, you can never trust UFC. It's crazy. Millions and millions of dollars UFC has in their website.
It's Wednesday
absolute
too.
Garbage.
Moved to Wednesday. Should have that shit updated.
Dude, they're garbage, dude. So sorry to interrupt you.
But no, it's a must-win fight for Americani. Kirk, he also took the fight on short notice. Amir's ground game and his experience is much greater than Kirk. The problem with Amir is he hasn't beat good competition, so when he's faced that, he's lost it. But Kirk isn't bad on the ground, but he just can't hang with Americani. So I maybe look to take Amir by sub in this fight. What you think about it, man?
Yeah, Machwan Americani, 32 years old, 5'10", 72-inch reach, fighting Kamala Kirk, who's 27 years old, 5'10", with a 75-inch reach. So 3 inches of reach advantage is going to go over to Kirk in the standing department, but he's a BJJ black belt, but pretty much all you can say good about him. He's taking this fight on short notice, and, I just – you can't bet on guys who are coming into the UFC on short notice. He's coming off two wins when one of the guy he beat was 20-10. It's like 20-10. Like, that guy sucked, man. I mean, it like you can't even count that. The other dude was 8-3, and it's sure shit wasn't UFC caliber. And then he lost 2 times, once by decision, the other by punches by Billy Quarantino, who's now in the UFC. So no way in hell could I be picking Kirk on short notice. I expect Mr. Finland to play Monopoly all over that ass and pass go easily. Give me Mr. Finland by decision. I don't think he's going to get a sub, only if Kirk gasses. I think he because of the black belt of Kirk, I think he's going to have the defense. I don't know where he got the black belt from specifically, so that's a question on the black belt. But because I'm going to respect that he has it, I'm going to say that he has the heart and the defense to hand fight and to not get choked out. So I think Machwan's going to win a decision here, and it should be a pretty easy decision for him in that case. So that's the last fight of the prelims.
On to the main card. The first matchup we'll have on the main card is going to be Tom Breeze versus Antonio Arroyo. Both fighters start fast, so it should start out pretty good. But I look for Breeze to be able to keep the pace. I think Breeze is pretty much better everywhere. Should be able to figure Arroyo out pretty fast, so it should be an easy dub for him. He just needs to avoid that kick that Arroyo has. At minus 245, I don't think I'm going to be betting it. I'm kind of leaning maybe take Breeze by decision if I bet it. But what you think about it, man?
Yeah, this should be an interesting fight. You got Tom Breeze, who's 29 years old, 6'3", 73.5-inch reach. He's going off against Antonio Arroyo, who's 31 years old. He's 6'3" himself, 73.5-inch reach. Both these guys are identical in every department, height and reach. It's going to be super interesting. The Brazilian Arroyo is coming off of 2 losses. Both he lost by unanimous decision. One being Darion Wynn, who's we call him a mini Daniel Cormier, who's 2 sizes too small. I usually love to find a spot to fade Breeze, but this is a spot where I can't find a reason to bet either guy. Arroyo loves to lose as much as Breeze, and Breeze will quit at any moment. So it's literally kind of a toss-up, the battle of the shitties. Yes, Breeze has more experience, but these guys are the exact same size, the height and reach. I'm going to go with the underdog here because I can't lay 245 on Breeze. There's no way ever, never, not even versus my sister, where I lay 245 on Breeze to beat my sister. So I'm going Antonio Arroyo, underdog pick. Do not bet on this fight because I have personal dislike to Tom Breeze. I'm trying to keep it as professional as possible. I don't have anything good to say about the Breeze, and so I'm going to be going with Antonio Arroyo. So do not bet this fight out of my pure hatred. That's why I do not bet this fight is out of pure hatred, because my hatred for Tom Breeze is so high that I could be blinded, and I don't want to do that. So I'm blocking that, and I'm going to deflect it, and I'm going to pick Antonio Arroyo. I think he could just get an upset here because Tom Breeze, he's going to look real good for about 1 round. And if Antonio Arroyo just defends and looks good for a round and a little bit more, he could actually win this fight. So
He's got some nice kicks too. So catches him with one of them, bro.
He catches him with a kick to the liver, a kick to the body. He has a chance to put Tom Breeze down. So like I said, don't bet your money, don't bet your house on this. And remember, with a disclaimer, that Real Mike dislikes Tom Breeze. And so with that said, Antonio Arroyo to win this fight. Let's see. Next up on the card, we have Dusko Todorovic. He's 27 years old, 6'1", 74-inch reach, and he's going off against Gregory Rodriguez, who's 29 years old, 6'3", with 76-inch reach advantage. I mean, right off the bat, they call Gregory Rodriguez RoboCop, but man,
that's a perfect name, RoboCop.
It's kind of perfect. If RoboCop was 60 years old, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. The RoboCop's old as hell.
Well, I guess you're right. I guess it's called Terminator, whatever it may be. But dude, the guy looks 60 for real, and it's it's crazy, bro. But it is what it is. Dusko's coming off a KO loss to Punahele Soriano. I'm not quite sold on Dusko. He got flatlined. And I think that the power goes to Gregory. All size advantage goes to Gregory. He's 2 inches taller. He's going to have 2 inches reach advantage. He's got some really mean kicks. I think that I'm going to go with the dog or pass here. I'm going to go with Gregory Rodriguez to land a mean high kick on Dusko Todorovic and to end his night. What do you think about that one, T?
Yeah, man, that's what I got in my notes. I was like, I can't believe Rodriguez is 29, but I thought he was like 42 when I saw him. Like, shit, that's crazy, though. But I'm not hating on him, though. I mean, he's pretty good. He's coming into the fight with some momentum, having finished his last 2 wins. And then you got Todorovic, and, he's coming off his first loss via KO. So Gray's got some momentum coming in here, too. They'll be in a smaller octagon as well, and Greg's pretty aggressive. So I'm kind of leaning his way. I like him here. ITD is probably an option, too, because I don't think this one's going to get to the final bell. I think somebody's going to get someone in this one. But nice. All right. Next up on the card, we've got Ponzinibbio versus Miguel Beza. Let me bring up the YouTube.
You want me to go first?
No, I got it, man. My bad. Ponzinibbio, he got KO'd by Leah's last fight. I really don't like how he went down in that one. He kind of got touched and just fell. So I'm kind of weary, about this. It didn't seem like a bomb hit him or anything like that. And he's starting to get older. I think he's got 4 minutes of fight time in the cage over the last 2 years, I think. And then, you got the up-and-comer Beza. So Ponzinibbio, he's got a significant experience edge, but I just don't know if I could back him just because of the way he got knocked out last time. So I'm kind of weary on. But what you think about this one, man?
Yeah, Santiago Ponzinibbio, 34 years old, 6 foot, 73-inch reach. The Argentinian at that. I love Argentina. So versus Miguel Beza, who's 28 years old, 6'2", with a 74.5-inch reach. Ponzinibbio fights at AT&T, Florida.
KO right there.
Ponzinibbio fights at AT&T, Florida. He's got tons of experience. He's been in there with the ladder of some of the best in the UFC, but he's kind of just like weaseled his way through. He's poked a couple fighters in the eye, and then knocked him out. And so I really don't. I'm not a big fan of Ponzinibbio's game anymore. He's getting older. He's going to be 6 years the elder here. He's going to be 2 years short, or 2 years shorter. He's going to be 2 inches shorter. He's going to have 1.5 inch reach disadvantage. I really like Miguel Beza. I like his kicking. I like his stand up. But he's he's 10-0. It's hard to bet on versus a veteran like Ponzinibbio when you're such a newcomer like Beza.
Yeah, that's the thing.
10-0. But I fucking like this kid, dude. I like Miguel Beza. I almost bet this as the other second bet of the night. This card was kind of weird and firing bets. I didn't want to just fire off some bullshit, but I really do like Miguel Beza at the -130 price tag. So if you want to put $130 down on Miguel to win here, to win you 100, I think that it's a good bet. I think that he's just going to be too much for Ponzinibbio. But with
I'm
that said,
sprinkle on the KO on this one because, I said, that the way he got touched, Lee touched his chin. I didn't like that last fight. It wasn't a hard shot, man.
Yeah, it wasn't hard at all. So I can't go with it. So be it Miguel Beza, 10-0. I think he's going to be 11-0 after this fight, and just silence the Argentinian. And sorry to say that all our Argentinian fans. I love Argentina and Argentinian barbecue.
So bomb steak.
It's so good. The entraña is just so good. But next up on the card is our only bet of the night. It's Roman Duldes, who's 32 years old, who's 6'2", with a 76-inch reach, versus Lorano Strapoli, who's 28 years old, 6'1", with a 71.5-inch reach. The Ukrainian Duldes last fought against Kevin Giles in a fight that could have gone either way, in my opinion. The size advantage here is going to be tremendous, man. Duldes is 1 inch in height, but he's going to have 4.5 inches in reach advantage on the hands. So I just really like the more experience and the elder. I think that Duldes is as good as Tripoli, if not better, in every aspect. Tripoli is one of the only 2 Argentinian fighters on the card, and like I said earlier, and I think that Tripoli is actually going to be meat here for Duldes. I think Duldes eats him up, whether it's on the feet or the ground. I do not see a way that Tripoli bullies him around. Tripoli's taking this fight on short notice. He's going to have a size disadvantage. He's also going up in weight. There's so many things that I like about this fight for Roman Duldes. So I'm going to be laying down the 1.4 units on Roman Duldes to most likely win a decision here versus Tripoli, possibly finish him. So let's fucking go, baby. Roman Duldes, 1.4 units. Next up you got it next up, right?
Yep, let's get it. Keep the train rolling. Next up on the card we'll have Walt Harris versus Marcin Tybura. I like Tybura in this matchup. I think he's got the grappling advantage. If he could get it in the clinch and take Walt Harris down, he's got an easy path to victory, in my opinion. Harris's cardio is just trash. I was a victim of that the last time I was in the shitty ground game that he's got. I took an L, so I like Tybura in this matchup. But what you thinking, man?
Yeah, if I want to say shout out to Ted Hicks in the chat, who just gave us 3 awards. I appreciate so much for the High Five Award, the Super Hard Award, the Stay Safe Award. I just really can't thank you enough for all the you 93 you live watching, given the 20 plus awards that we've gotten. We just literally love doing this, and we do it for you guys and the cash bets. One of the only free shows out there that has is winning. There's some touts that do this for money, and they don't win at as high of a clip as we do. So with that said, we were going into Walt Harris versus Marcin Tybura. Walt Harris, 37 years old, 6'5", 81-inch reach. Facing Marcin Tybura, is 35 years old, with 6'3", with 78-inch reach. Right away, right off the bat, you see 2 inches in height advantage for Walt Harris. You see 3 inches height or reach advantage for Walt Harris. Again, I think the Walt Harris is going to be a lot bigger and stronger. I think this is a great fight for him to come back and to get a win here after his daughter's death. I think it really greatly affected him mentally. If you don't know the story, look up the story of Walt Harris's daughter. Super sad, but as a father, I can't even imagine what he's gone through, losing his daughter, and especially the manner that he did. So I just really do like Walt Harris. I like his story. Marcin Tybura's got good striking. Don't get me wrong. But he's kind of flat-footed. He's not very mobile. He's kind of wishy-washy. He's coming off 4 wins in a row that will kind of blind you. It's versus Hardy, Rothwell, Grisham, and Spivak. The only notable name on there is Ben Rothwell. But Ben Rothwell is kind of wishy-washy himself too. So I really can't, favor anything of Tybura's way. He's negative 165 favorite. I like Walt Harris here. I think that Walt Harris's power could surprise Tybura, and that this is a chance for him to get a W here. So I'm going to be going with Walt Harris to finish Marcin Tybura and win this fight. And then last fight of the night, the main event of the evening. Sad to say that this is the main event of the evening. It's just crazy, the fights that we're getting, folks. But we have Jairo Rosenstruck versus Augusto Sakai. Rosenstruck is 33 years old, 6'4", with 78-inch reach. Sakai is 30 years old, 6'3", with a 77-inch reach. Rosenstruck is ATT Florida, so he's got a bunch of training partners, whether it's wrestling or striking. ATT's got a plethora of options. Rosenstruck said in an interview lately that his recent losses are because he doesn't strike first. He's been hesitant to strike, and so he's not going to be doing that. He's going to be striking first, and I feel like he's going to come out here and just be real aggressive in the onset of the fight, and he's going to be able to take the lead. And then these big boys, once they take the lead, the damage just it pays off greatly. So I'm going to be going with Rosenstruck here to get a win. I think that Sakai is not that Sakai's not bad. He's kind of it's not UFC caliber fighting, man. I we'll talk next week, and I could be wrong, but if Sakai
he's
beats,
missing something, man. I know what you're saying.
I'm either missing something or Rosenstruck's just going to win easily. But with that said, I'm going Jair Rosenstruck to win by devastation versus Augusto Sakai. Who do you got here on this one, T?
Yeah, I kept it simple, man. I like Rosenstruck here, big time. I think he's got the power advantage. The only thing about Sakai is that he's kind of crafty. Yeah, I kind of got to watch that he doesn't take down Rosenstruck if he's being too aggressive at the start, and you got to watch the leg kicks. But I think Rosenstruck is going to catch him in the chin at some point and just put him down. And I'll be betting the money line and probably the KO. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I agree. So with that said, that will be the end of the event for the UFC Vegas 28. We appreciate all you guys live, all the awards that you guys given us. Hopefully we can keep this winning streak going and cash this bet for you this weekend. Only one bet this week because I didn't feel like I needed to fire when there wasn't that much to fire on. So we appreciate all you guys who support the MMA for Money show. Make sure you go to MMAforMoney.com. Get yourself a NASCAR package. I say it every freaking week, folks. NASCAR package. He's hit again last week ×2. I mean, I don't know what you guys want me to do. Like, he literally wins them so often. It's not funny. It will pay for itself. MMAforMoney.com. Get a NASCAR package. Get a premium package. I promise you will be part of the team. You'll be winning. It will pay for itself. So I just want to say thank you to all the people live on Haps who's the support of the show. Every single one of you, just all the awards. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your platform of choice: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, RSS feeds, and Haps. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube for both full-length shows as well as smaller tidbits to get you through the week. Like, comment, and share, and spread the word. And with that, let's roll.